I just want to tell you a little bit more about me. As I said, I was born in Sri Lanka. I was very fortunate as a young boy. My father was working for the United Nations, and we travelled around a lot. So for the first 9 years of my life, I think I had lived in 7 or 8 different countries. I had lived in places like Zambia, I had lived in the UK, I had lived in the Middle East, in Oman, I had lived in Bangladesh. So I had lived in various different places, and I had the wonderful opportunity to travel as a young boy. I've got a younger brother as well who's a physio himself, and he's a standout physio himself who is in Melbourne, Kusal Goonewardena. When we were young, so I was 9 at the time, he was 5, and my dad, was travelling around. We were travelling with him, so Mum would take us together, and we'd go follow my father around with his work and with his travels. At the age of 9, and my brother was 4, he said, well, enough is enough. We need to educate the boys. Education is one of the main things for him, and he said, we need to move to Australia. And I've got an uncle in Australia, and my father said, wonderful place to bring up our children. It's a great place to be. And we moved to Australia, and that's how it all started in Australia. As a young boy, I did my primary school here, I did my secondary school here, I did my university studies here, and from a young age, my father would always say, you are there to help others, you are there to make a difference in other people's lives. So I think this is how it all started for me. From a young age, I was taught that I have to be in the service of others. I have to help others out. And I really appreciated that, and I really enjoyed it too. Sadly, I was, I think, in my final year of university, and my father fell sick, and ultimately he had leukemia, and he suffered from it for about 9 to 10 months. And just before I graduated, so just before he had seen all that he had done for his eldest son, he couldn't see me graduate, which is probably one of the saddest things that I think about it now, and I think, if he could have been there for a few more months, he would have seen me graduate. He would have seen what he had done all his life to provide so much for myself, provide so much for my brother, to bring us up in an environment of education, and certainly a place where it allowed us to grow and be the best that we can be. So, sadly for my brother as well, the year my dad passed away, he just got accepted into physiotherapy. So, that ultimately my father didn't see us graduate, and he didn't see my brother get into the course that would make him so happy. He would have been so overwhelmed to know that both his sons were physiotherapists, and or going to be physiotherapists in a profession that ultimately means service to others and shows people that we care. So me being the eldest, there's myself, my younger brother, and Ummi, of course, my mum, and I took it upon myself. I had to be the leader of the house. I had to be the person taking care of things. I had to make sure my brother was okay. I had to be the role model. And I was able to apply all the little things then to be the best that I can be. I learned from my father, who said, you know, always be in the service of others, always do your best. So I started putting that into practice. So here I am after all those years. I don't think I've stopped, and I don't think I ever will. I love what I do, and I love sharing what I have learned with others.